The text arrived at 6:12 a.m., the kind of hour where lies feel braver because no one's awake enough to question them. We're canceling your kid's Christmas. Budget issues. Dad's name sat above it like a seal of authority. Final, paternal, cold. I stared at the ceiling, counted my breaths, and felt something settle. Not anger, not yet. Something precise, a click. I wasn't born suspicious. I was built that way, slowly, by people who smiled while keeping score. I'm the reliable one, the one who never asks for receipts, who splits the check evenly, who shows up early with gifts labeled carefully so no one feels shorted. My kids learned to say thank you before they learned to ask for more. We weren't rich, we were comfortable. That mattered to me, because comfort requires maintenance, honesty, and a shared ledger of effort. Family, I believed, was a ledger that balanced. The first red flag was a photo. My sister-in-law's story, 24 hours of glare. An iPad box torn open by a small fist. A watch flashing like a promise. Designer shoes laid out on a rug I recognized from their house. It was still November. Early gifts, maybe. I scrolled back. Another story. Another box. Another grin. I told myself not to be petty. I told myself budgets are uneven, timing is weird, life is complicated. I told myself a lot of things because belief is cheaper than conflict. Then my niece texted me. Why didn't you invite us? No context, just that, a question sharpened by innocence. I didn't answer right away. I watched the words hover. I pictured my kids downstairs arguing about cereal, unaware that their Christmas had been canceled by committee. I pictured Dad typing with one finger, Mom hovering, my brother silent. Silence, I've learned, is where the truth hides when it's ashamed. The discovery didn't come with fireworks, it came with math. Bank transfers that didn't line up. Group chat enthusiasm that spiked selectively, a pattern of "we can't this year" that always landed on my doorstep and never theirs. I didn't confront, I archived, I screenshotted, I wrote dates in a notebook like a clerk documenting inventory. Hurt had its moment, it passed. Strategy stayed. I planned quietly. Not revenge the way movies sell it, loud, sloppy, vindictive. I planned like a parent plans a school year. Budgets, calendars, outcomes. I booked ASPEN in my head before I booked it on my card. I checked snow reports the way some people check alibis. When I finally replied to my niece, I used Dad's words. Budget issues. Nothing else. No emoji, no apology. Precision is kinder than explanation. We flew out 3 days before Christmas. ASPEN greeted us with that clean, cinematic cold that makes everything look honest. My kids learned what altitude does to your lungs and how silence can be loud. We skied. We drank hot chocolate thick enough to slow time. I posted photos because I wasn't hiding. Hiding is for people who know they're wrong. The fallout was immediate. My phone lit up like a confession booth. Mom called. Her voice arrived preloaded with judgment. "How could you?" she said, like I'd broken a rule we'd never agreed on. I waited. I let the silence do its work. Then I said it, the line I'd rehearsed without rehearsing. "We had budget issues." She inhaled. I heard the past rearrange itself in her head, furniture scraping. "That's different," she said. I smiled at the window, at the mountains standing there without defending themselves. The showdown came later, when we were all back, when the lights were down and the tree was shedding needles like secrets. Dad tried to explain, Mom tried to soften, my brother tried to joke. I didn't interrupt. I laid the receipts on the table, dates, amounts, screenshots. Not accusations, facts. The room changed temperature. Shock isn't loud. It's the moment people realize the mirror works both ways. "I didn't want to make a thing," Dad said. "You did," I replied. Calm, measured. "You just didn't think I'd notice." They asked what I wanted. an apology, a reset, peace. I wanted accuracy. From now on, I said, we're honest. If there's a budget, it's shared. If there's favoritism, it's named. My kids don't get canceled. No one argued. Power rarely announces itself. It's recognized. I slept well that night, not because I'd won, because I'd stopped pretending. ASPEN wasn't the point. The photos weren't the point. The point was refusing to subsidize a lie with my silence. Christmas came anyway. It always does. My kids didn't remember the text. They remembered the snow. They remembered me saying yes without asking permission. And when my niece asked again, curious, not accusing, I answered with the truth this time. Next year, I said, we'll plan better.